Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told out of Voice of Radio, so today I'm back with more news about Black Bolt and White Flare. That was the set I told you about earlier. I told you about some new EXs. I showed you the set as a whole. Well, now, ladies and gentlemen, we need to talk in a bit more detail about some stuff about the set. Now, what is going to be interesting is that it does now seem confirmed that it will feature all 156 and over Pokemon from Black and White. And you ready for this? Are you ready for this? All of them have an illustration rare. And I don't mean some of them have an illustration rare. Oh, no. All of them, ladies and gentlemen, all of them have an illustration rare. Now, I know what you're thinking. Hang on a second, Wassy. 156 illustration rares in one set? Doesn't that sound a little bit ridiculous? Yes. Obviously, and this should be obvious, but let me just say it now. No, I'm not going to show you all 156 in this video. I would love to show you all 156 in this video. I can show you like 9, 10 maybe. Can't show you 156, but I can show you a bunch. And here's the thing, almost kind of like in acknowledgement of this, there are other things which are going to be coming out, including, for instance, we've got a new style of pack which actually has 35 cards in, one of which is a guaranteed illustration rare. Yeah, that is quite impressive. It's more than quite impressive. It's incredibly impressive. You know what I mean here. That is a lot. Now, these are not going to be ordinary price packs. They're going to be priced at 1,450 yen per pack. That's a lot. To put it into context, regular packs are 290 yen. So, yeah, this is like 4 to 5 times the price of a regular pack. But instead of getting 7 cards, you get 35, and you get a guaranteed illustration rare. These packs are going to be incredibly popular, put it that way. And I'm sure there's going to be chances to pull all the other big fancy cards in here as well, but yeah, that's kind of cool. Now, going along with this, there is one other product we need to talk about, and that is that there is going to be a card file set featuring Victini. You get yourself a card file, which is lovely, binder. And then you also get this illustration rare Victini, and this is retailing for 2,640 yen, and comes out again on June the 6th, which is, of course, the same day that the set as a whole releases. So, yeah. This again, I imagine, is going to end up being moderately popular. Basically, this set as a whole is going to be incredibly popular, but the 35 card packs are going to be a big deal. I think this product is going to end up being a pretty big deal. This set as a whole is going to be big, and it's kind of a little bit sad for me on a personal level. Well, happy and sad, because I love Gen 5. I told you this many times before. I told you in the previous video. And so on the one hand, it's great that this set is coming because I love Gen 5. And then on the other hand, yeah, this seems like it's going to be a really annoying set to get hold of. I've still actually not managed to get much of the previous 2 sets in Japan. Hopefully things are going to get better in the near future. But you basically get a file, you get 6 packs, and you get yourself the Victini. So, yeah, it's pretty cool. And if we're going to be looking at new cards, I don't know, why don't we start off with this Victini? Because if you were around when Gen 5 came around first time in the Pokemon TCG, and I was, this card is going to look quite familiar to you. Now, what it is, we've got 80 HP, and then we've got 2 energy, we've got 120 damage, but there is a catch. And the catch is, if you've got fewer than 5 bench Pokemon, the card literally says if you have 4 or fewer bench Pokemon, this attack does nothing. Oh. Yeah. That is, that's a thing. And it's old Victini. Like, we had a Victini that did this first time round. We had the Victini that came around in Noble Victories, which for 2 energy did 100 damage, and if you had 4 or fewer bench Pokemon, this attack did nothing. Now, admittedly, it's been several years and it's only gone up by 20 damage, which is not ideal, but it's 2 energy, and if you got a full bench, I mean, to put it simply, 2 energy, 120 damage, it's not bad. If you're hitting for weakness here, then that means that you're actually getting basic EXs, which is pretty cool. It's not amazing, but as a low energy attacker, which only gives up 1 prize, I don't think this is too bad at all. This seems like a fun little card. But there's some other things we need to know. So let's start off with Emboar. Look at this Emboar. This is the Japanese black and white holo. This is what the Japanese black and white holo looked like back in the day. Now, ours didn't look like this back in the day because, well, we didn't have the silver borders. Japan's did. This is a return to it. That's pretty cool. Now, we've had the whole line revealed. They've all got T0 artwork. I think the artwork on all of these is absolutely stunning. But we've also got a ridiculous ability here. But it's just a reprint of Inferno Fandango Emboar. This is another card that we had last time when Black and White came around. It's got the exact same ability. As often as you like during your turn, you can attach a fire energy from your hand to one of your Pokemon. And then it's even got a 4 energy vanilla attack with no extra effect. Now, it's got much better artwork than it had last time around, which is cool. But the attack is still pretty terrible and pointless. But the ability now, I mean, you know, if you want a modern comp, Baxcalibur. Baxcalibur is a good card that sees a bunch of play so that we can accelerate energy onto water Pokemon. And I know that recently, it has fallen off a little bit in terms of popularity. Make no mistake about it, Baxcalibur is still a decent card, and this is that for fire Pokemon. Like, for instance, I don't know, the Reshiram I showed you earlier? Yeah, that one. Because I showed you the Reshiram earlier, which of course is from this set. 3 energy, 130 plus 50 for each prize card your opponent's taken. Well, you want a nice easy way to get the energy onto that Reshiram? Emboar. Boom. Sorted. Move on. Also, of course, we'll make it easy to play Victini. But now, essentially, what we need to do is look at every future fire Pokemon a little bit differently. Because now, all of a sudden, we've got a good way to accelerate the energy. So any good fire Pokemon from here until, you know, the end of time, and by the end of time I of course mean the rotation of Emboar, is now going to become significantly better. And that makes me pretty gosh darned excited. I did of course have a quick look to see, you know, basic fire EXs, what have we got here? And they're all right. They're fine. There's nothing here that really stands out to me as absolutely ridiculously broken now, but there's things like Gouging Fire EX, which is a very interesting card that just got an awful lot better. So that one we like quite a bit. And, you know, things like Half-Flame Mask Ogapon, basic Pokemon, free energy, 280 to an evolution. That's a little bit spicy, so I'm just saying, and again, it doesn't have to be these. Any Pokemon that is fire now has a good way to accelerate energy, and that's kind of the point I'm making here. It doesn't have to be ones we've got now. It can be anything that comes around in the future. Oh yeah, and look at the illustration rares of this entire evolution line. I think the regular T0 artwork is absolutely stunning. But yeah, we got the illustration rares as well, and they're by Orca, Massa, and NC Empire, and just, oh my word. There we go. Now, as we move on to Samurott here, we can see that we've, you know, I'm starting to get some love for Oshawott. I've got 2 Oshawott plushies at home, and my kids are starting to kind of fall in love with Oshawott. And look at the alternate arts. The Oshawott is done by Okacheke. Just, that artist never misses. I like Oshawott, don't get me wrong, but oh my word, this Oshawott is stunning. And yeah, it's another Okacheke card, and we all know by now I love Okacheke, but goodness me, that's a phenomenal looking card. Nice. And actually, even the stage 1 here is not terrible. The stage 1 here does 30 damage for each energy attached to it. You count the amount of energy on it, it does 30 damage. That's not bad. If you pile energy on, that could be all right. But mostly, of course, we are worried about Samurott. What does Samurott do? Well, we've got an ability whereby once during your turn, you can switch your active Pokemon with one of your bench, and then your opponent switches our active Pokemon with one of their bench. Yeah, that's pretty ridiculously good. And they get a choice of what they switch in, don't get me wrong, but it's a switch that makes your opponent switch their active. That's pretty sweet. We've then got single energy, 30 damage, plus 50 for each energy on this Pokemon. The problem with trying to use this as an attacker, though, is we kind of need the aforementioned Baxcalibur, and then we're playing multiple stage 2 lines in the same deck. It gets a little bit awkward. Still a really nice ability, though. And look at the Oshawott. So, of course, if they're going to reveal the first partner Pokemon, they might as well finish off with the Serperior line. I really like the Snivy artwork by Maya here. It's lovely. But let's have a look at the illustration rares. And again, Snivy looks amazing. But look what Murayama has done with the Serperior EX. It's kind of beautiful. Yeah, I don't know why Serperior gets the EX. I think it should have been Emboar. But then again, you know, Emboar's cool. But it had a really nice ability, so I think Emboar might well be the best of them. No, it didn't have an EX already. Okay, it did, but it was a big X. And it was a while ago at this point, and even though it was a basic Pokemon, it wasn't very good. What does Serperior do? Well, Servine here does have an attack whereby you flip a coin, and if heads paralysis, plus 20 damage, it's fine. And then in terms of Serperior EX, we've got an ability that say your active Pokemon attacks deal 20 more to your opponent's active Pokemon. Oh, nice. Now it's only to your opponent's active, not to the bench. And you'll notice there's no brackets or anything at the end here. This is not capped at one Serperior. Now, the other way to put it is, how are you going to get multiple Stage 2 Serperior out? But if you can flood the board with Stage 2 Serperior, you will get multiple uses of this ability, and that's kind of brilliant. We've then got 4 energy, 150, search your deck for any free cards, whack them in your hand, shuffle your deck. Which sounds really nice, but it's 4 energy on a Stage 2. Yeah, sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not really loving that. Searching for any free cards is obviously busted. I'm just not entirely sure how you're going to get this working. So yeah, cool attack. Seems a bit expensive. Ability is very, very nice. And we've got 9 illustration rares so far, plus the Victini. Oh, this set is shaping up to be a good one. And just in case you missed it at the beginning of the video, 156 illustration rares confirmed for the set. Yowza. Okay, I think I've made my point. So now it's over to you guys. Are you as excited for this set as I am? Tell me what you think in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk about Pokemon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, join a Discord, and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.